kind of traumatized. Why? Why am I about talking to you? Well, the other day I got this Amazon pack. I'm like, I didn't buy anything else, okay? I just bought, things we needed. And that package came, and I didn't buy anything else from Amazon, right? And then this mysterious package shows up. I'm like, what the heck is this? I had my name on it, so I opened it. Yeah, my mother just sent me a fan, for a tiny rechargeable fan for some reason. I'm like, I don't really need another one, but okay, whatever. And she didn't even tell me it was coming. I'm like, she normally does. I was like, okay, so you call me to tell me that you order things and you sending it to my house? Yeah, because she randomly does these weird things where she'll send me stuff in the mail, for surprise. And then I'm like, then Eric's looking at me like I did a shopping spree on Amazon when I didn't. Is it lucky Andy jumped up thinking our cat was meow? Yeah, it's probably lucky. Next to me. He's looking out the window. Yes, he's been meowing a lot. I don't know why. Can't figure it out. He has all the things, and he's got food and stuff, and he's got water. His litter box is cleaned, because if it's not clean up to his standards, he will be on my floor somewhere. And then, yeah. Sometimes I don't find it right away. I'm like, why does it smell like the cat peed? Where is it? Yeah, it takes a few minutes, to find. So I keep that quite clean regularly, so that doesn't happen, because cats, they're kind of finicky a little bit about their stuff. They're picky about certain things. That Flecky will not tell me if I if his litter box needs to be cleaned. He won't tell me. So I have to have a certain stuff. So yeah, I have to make sure that is super clean stuff. Yes. Oh, and when since Eric's kind of not talking to her since the whole fight on Monday night, right? Well, Lucky has been ignoring him also. He's like, "You're mean to my mommy. I'm not. I'm not. No, you're not touching me." He's been hanging out with me. He's my Pokemon. He's definitely my cat. He follows me around. He does all the things that a Pokemon does. Yeah, see? He's on my side 100%. I'm just saying. Like, he's the best cat ever. I'm like, I can do without him peeing on the floor occasionally, but I think that might be because there's a lot of stray cats in the area, and if they pee outside, I might be able to split through the wall, maybe. There's a few scratches. Yeah, he kind of deserves a bunch of stuff. I'm like, he's like, you don't listen to me. I'm like, well, you don't listen to me ever. I'm like, I tell you to use, when you're helping, with Lily's in the shower. You just have a washcloth on her face when you wash her hair, or she freaks out, and I don't need to hear death screams. Right? So I'm like, yeah, he purposely doesn't do that on purpose and puts water in her eyes. I'm like, you know what? No. I also don't like water in my eyes, so I kind of know where the kids get it from. I'm like, I shower backwards the whole entire time. Yeah, where the water doesn't go in your eyes at all, ever. Yeah, so I'm trying to teach the kids how to do this, but panics. So I give her the washcloths. Yeah, see, that's when my kids scream bloody murder. I bet you can hear all outside. Next door neighbors can probably hear it. Sounds like you're a child when you're not. Yeah. So he thinks that with a girl that you have to be nasty. Like, no, you're nasty to a girl. You're just gonna get punched in the face, possibly. I was like, because Lillian, she's very bossy. She gets into it. Gets into it. Yeah, they don't like water on this. So, yeah, I have her backwards, and then my shower head moves. Take it off the thing and do stuff. So I'm like, all right, all you have to do is just get your head wet, and then I'll wash it. You have the thing on. Your eyes will be safe. She's like, are you sure? Because Daddy's mean. It's like, yeah, you're good. Don't worry. Mommy's nice. Okay. Usually. I'm not usually mean with kids. But I'm like, you know what? So I was like, this is what you do. Just get through the task so she doesn't have a panic attack. My kids have panic attacks. Try to get it from me. So yeah, so I'm like, no. Do. I tell him what to do, and then he doesn't do it. Probably because I. Well, I don't know. You know, the whole potty training thing. Your kid will do it when they're ready. They're ready. I'm like, Lillian has lots of delays already. Okay, she's always been a little delayed. Like when it was time to switch from a bottle to a sippy cup. Do you know how long that took me? Longer than normal. Okay, I pretty was um fighting with the stubbornest child ever for probably a whole year before I got her found, and I had to buy so many of these cups until I found one that she'd actually use. Yeah, it took me a while and lots of money. Okay, so yeah, so that's how I know that it's gonna take twice as long to get her to consistently use the toilet. I'm like, because I'm pretty sure she's got some autism. Sure, pretty sure. There's so many red flags, and people are in denial. Well, I'm stubborn also, my girl. I will not change my mind. Once I have made up my mind, there is no way that it is going to be changed for any reason. Okay? So yeah, if I say that I'm not sending my kid to your house ever again by themselves, guess what? That's not happening. No. My child will be accompanied by an adult like me, not Eric, because he doesn't have a mouth like I do. He doesn't tell people um how it is, okay? He just lets them do the thing that he doesn't like, so he doesn't have to have confrontation. Yeah, me? No, you do something, especially with my children. If it has anything with my children, you're getting Mama Bear eventually, okay? I'm nice to a certain extent. But then, when you do stuff, like send my kid home filthy, I'm like, why would you do that? I'm like, why would you? I don't understand it, okay? If the small child goes outside and gets dirty, you know what you do before you send him home? You give him a bath. You wash their clothes and give them a bath. All right. You do not send them home all dirty like they rolled in mud. Okay, because that's how my kid came home. And that's the first thing I saw besides her not wanting to come in the house, which was weird, and her attitude was different, and it wasn't my kid. Okay, she turned into some spoiled rotten little brat child. Okay? So I was like, okay, from all the things right there, okay, from just seeing her coming in the house, kicking and screaming at the age of 6, which should not be doing either, and stuff, and then hiding under my table forever, and no matter what I said, she wouldn't come out. It took forever to get her in the shower, okay, to clean her before dinner. I'm like, now I have to delay dinner because my kid is filthy. This is not the appearance I was expecting when your kid comes home from grandma's house, okay? So then, yeah, I know that they play favorites with her. I knew that already, okay? They always take her shopping and buy a lot of things and then try to pretend, you know, for some reason she needed more clothes. I'm like, no. Mm-mm. And then not even asking me if it's okay to scare the crap out of your kid into using, you know, the potty. I'm like, no, and then yeah, and then telling her that she has to wear these underwear forever. And I'm thinking to myself, no, Mm-mm. You are not technically potty trained. You are inconsistent. You do not get up in the middle of the night to use the toilet, so you will still have to wear a pull-up at night. She's like, no, Grandma says I'm not allowed to wear those ever again. I'm like, I'm your mother, by the way. Grandma is not your mother. Okay. Yeah. So I sent her some unpleasant text. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she told Eric about it. I don't. He didn't say anything about it because, you know, I'm the one that takes care of the kids practically 100% of the time. Well, he's not here most of the time because he's at work. And then when he is here, he's playing what, Minecraft? Yeah. So yeah, I know that I'm usually okay with it because I just do all the things anyways because I'm here all the time. But I was like, there are some things you should probably do with your child. So yeah, the whole bedtime thing. The reason why he puts the kids to bed is because many years ago, before I had Lillian, I had the boys, right? Well, he would never be home ever, okay? He'd go to work and then come home and be home for like that duration, okay? And then on the weekends, he would disappear and play Magic the Gathering the whole weekend. And if I needed something, like if something happened to the house and I needed help, he would not come home for anything. He didn't give a crap if I had to take a kid to the hospital or something. No, he would never answer the phone, never come home. Yeah, that was a problem. And then I had tons of anxiety. And then it came to a point where I had like a breakdown type thing. I don't know. Well, it came to that point where I had to go to the doctor for stuff. That doctor yelled at me because she's like, "You're not you need help. You're not supposed to be doing all the things." I'm like, "Well, I kind of have to when when your husband's not home ever and stuff." And and then yeah, and the kids were little then, so I still had to clean up their toy mess and all that stuff. And I was like, "No, I shouldn't be doing." It came to a point where I did not their their toy mess. And one of my friends came over. She's like, how come your house isn't super spotless? I'm like, well, you see, once I pick up the stuff, the toys, they go right back on the floor. So I figured I just leave it there until right before they go to bed, and then right? So so yeah, so I had like this thing, and the doctor yelled at me because I didn't really ask for help because nobody helped me anyways. So I just did everything myself, right? Well, she said that I needed some alone time, time just for stuff like craft or something. So since the kids didn't go to school yet, well, Vincent did, but Logan didn't, so I never got a break actually from the whole mom thing ever. I got a break from the special needs aspect, but not from the parenting aspect. Okay, and Eric never really helped me right at this particular time. So, so I had to go to the doctor to get, the doctor to yell at me. And then I had to go home. And then I had to pretty much tell him how it was going to be. Okay, that's when I was like, all right. I need somebody to help with the toy, picking up the toy pickup time, that stuff. And then, and then you're doing bedtime and stuff. And he's like, why? I'm like, well, it's either you do this or or I have the doctor yell at you. So yeah, so that's how I kind of changed the whole thing. And then he was still kind of doing the leaving me home by myself on the weekend, go and play Magic the Gathering with his friends, right? Well, when I got pregnant with Lillian, that all changed. Okay, it changed because I got really sick. The whole entire time I was pregnant with her, I was sick. I couldn't do a whole lot of things. I can do the kid things, but need help with other things, like cleaning and stuff. I couldn't eat stuff because it was just a nightmare. So yeah, and then he had to help me with that, and then he started staying home from cards. He stopped playing cards. Now he doesn't do that anymore. Now he just plays Minecraft at home. Yeah. So he's here. So yeah. So now yeah. So then he actually does things. So that's why he does the bedtime. I actually help with the bedtime because we have two kids that need help. Vincent needs assistance. and Lillian needs assistance, and she's the worst child. So I take her and do her bedtime things, and he does bedtime things with Vincent. Okay, so that's what the whole bedtime thing came about. And they go to bed at 8 o'clock. They don't always go. They don't go to sleep, but they are to be in their rooms and be in their beds watching TV or something. So, because Vincent has to watch something to stay still, so he doesn't wander around because he has to sit still long enough to fall asleep. So that's the only reason why they watch like TV or something. Because Vincent will sit there. He will stay there. We used to have to sit with him every night until he fell asleep. Yeah, 1, 2 in the morning, I would sit there and try not to fall asleep. So yeah. So then we flip-flopped and Eric, but we don't actually sit with him anymore. We just make sure he stays. We send a hover. It's called like a hover thing. Yeah, so they fall asleep by themselves, but they stay up forever. That's why I'm usually up until midnight or later, depending on the time Lillian and Vincent go to sleep. I'm like, yeah, craziness. But yeah, so that's why he does the bedtime thing. Because I like a great job doing all the things. I still do all the things, but I also have time by myself to craft and called my mommy time crafting. I like doing it when people are sleeping. So in the middle of the night is the best time. We're crafting because you're not getting have to get up every 5 minutes and stuff. Yeah, so that's why he does the bedtime thing. I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, can't she just do it herself? Yeah, I can, but I do enough things. Like, because my job never stops. His does, mine does not. My stay-at-home mom job is a 24-hour job around the clock. And when you have kids that don't sleep, yeah, you're not getting a whole lot of sleep. Even though they said when they get older, you'll get more sleep. That is a lie, by the way. That is not true for every parent. Because I'm like, oh, this is just temporary. Eventually, I won't have to stay up all night. Yeah, no, that's not true. Been doing it since Vincent was born. He's 15 now. Been doing this for 15 whole years, and there's just been other children added. Yes, and Lillian is very stubborn. She is kind of like me, and she doesn't cave very easily. Neither do I. Okay, so this is how it goes down. When you're waiting your child out for something, okay, you have to be up on it. So I'm usually up like way before. I know exactly what they're gonna do before they do it. So I'm like, all right, like for when I was trying to get her to pick up her toys, right? I was like, okay, well, I'll let you do this if you do this. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'll let you do this task. And she's like, well, that sounds like fun. And she run around and clean up her toys and stuff. There are things there and stuff. And since it's summer now, you can have a little more Kindle time after she puts toys. I'm like, I don't bribe them with money, no, because you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't bribe your kids to go to the bathroom, no, because then they're not going to do it, okay? She has no problem going to the bathroom at school. Well, she has problems sometimes. Out of the side of the house, she has no problems doing it. Inside the house, that's another story. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, you can have her go to the bathroom at your house, but she already knows how to do that, and she already kind of does that most of the time and stuff. So I'm like, no, it's the inside the house. This is the problem and stuff. So I'm like, no. So yeah, so Eric and his parents are in denial that Lillian may possibly have a little autism. I know she has something because yeah, she says things different. Like she doesn't call a barn either, which her kindergarten teacher had a problem with. She's like, she calls it this, and she's talking about a barn. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's fine. I know what she's talking about. I'm like, if you don't know what you're talking, I'm like, you can pretty much figure out what she's talking about because she just it's described the same way as the thing. It's just a different word that she would use. So yeah, I'm like, and it also takes her longer to learn things and stuff. So yeah, so that's how she's super delayed and stuff. So I'm like, you can't like teach one thing, like teach her how to count to 5 and expect her to know that the next day. No, she forgot all the things. Every day I would ask her a question when she got home. Do you think she remembered? No. No, she did not. I was like, okay, well, this isn't good. And the teacher was blaming it on me. She's like, you don't work on this at home. I'm like, I do. I do. I do work on these things with her at home. But the thing is, she goes to sleep and wakes up and she forgot all the things. So that is a problem. They have to like, no, it's not, and that's not a normal thing. But usually remember the things that you learn, the next day. No, not her. No. And she also doesn't associate things like if you like tell her how to spell her name, right? Then you tell her to spell a different word. She will leave the letters out of her name, out of this word, because she doesn't associate it with anything else. She thinks it's only the letters are only allowed to be in that one word, and that different ones should be in the a different word. I'm like, no, no, no. So yeah, so there's a lot of things, Jeff. Yeah, that is not normal either. So yeah, and then when I raise concerns and say I think my kid is this, certain people are like, no, she's just doing it on purpose. I'm like, no, no, she's not doing it on purpose. I can tell when a kid is doing something on purpose. No, 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 no. This is actually how she is. Okay, so and I had her later in life. So I had her when I was 39. Yeah, these doctors wanted me to have an abortion. Okay, they were trying to talk me into an abortion. Eric doesn't know about this because he didn't go to any doctor's appointments. He's at work. Yes. Okay, me and my friend, she went with me every single doctor's appointment. Okay, every single one. Okay, they took me into this fancy office after they found out that because you have to confirm your pregnancy with a thing. I got mine confirmed like 10 times. For some reason. They're like, we have to make sure. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, you're ridiculous. So, so I was like, no, 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 no. I'm like, they're like, you could have like a special needs kid. I'm like, I already have one of those at home. I have one of those. So I'm already okay with that. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, they were like acting like it was a horror story having a baby at the age of 39. I was like, no, not really. I'm like, they had to like, yeah, they were crazy. They gave me so many ultrasounds that my insurance company was like, no, no, you've done too many now. There was no reason to do that many either because there was nothing wrong with pregnancy. There was nothing bad happening except for I was sick the whole time. So there was that kind of complications. But other than that, no. No. See, so I already was aware. Besides, I was also told after I had Vincent, and he was, because he's autistic, he was born like that. So I was also told by all the doctors that if I had any other children, that they also ran a risk just because you have one kid with special needs, you could end up with all your kids that way. Okay, so I was aware of that also. So I was like, no, I'm like, I'm home all the time. I know how to take care of any child, pretty much, because they have all different needs. So I just pretty much go with their needs. Okay, somebody needs more mommy time, they get more mommy time. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm like, no, yeah. So I already knew that there was a possibility that she could have autism. I also knew that girls diagnosing them is different. Okay, I also knew that just because they did all the milestones kind of normally, no, technically all normally, but for the most part normally, that by the age of 5, they could have signs of autism. And that's exactly what happened. It was pretty much okay. There was some delays with the bottle switching to, to the all the switchings from stuff. So I knew the switching thing was difficult and stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah. So now they're all in denial about it, and I'm the bad guy. Yes, I'm the evil one because I'm the one that takes care of my kids properly. I'm not Eric's ex-wife. So you do not need to mother my child, okay? You mothered little Eric. That's why he lives over there. Yeah, and for some reason, if you mention him getting his own apartment, they will attack you, okay? Even if you're the actual parent. Because Eric says something about it once in front of them. Oh my goodness, did they come at us like crazy? Like, no, he's living with us forever. I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to live forever. And when you die, you have it in your will that we are to sell the house. So, how are we supposed to do that with with the kid still in there? We're supposed to kick him out? I was like, who should I let kick him out? I don't want to kick out a child. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, they're not speaking to me now, which is fine. I don't care. I don't really care if they're mad at me for being being the mom I am. Okay, I'm like, no, I am the parent, and you need to tell. I'm like, all they had to do was ask me if it was okay to do whatever they were gonna do, and I would have either, not sent her, or would have came up with my own plan. So I also said, you do not send home a kid with one pair of regular underwear. And not anymore. I don't have any in that size, okay? Because I was perfecting the whole, when they go on it like consistently, then you buy the fancy, underwear. It's a waste of money to just keep buying things and then they grow out of it. So that's what I was doing. They didn't like that approach. Eric still doesn't like my approach. So, yes. So I found some underwear on Amazon that's supposed to be leak proof, I guess. It's cotton underwear. Supposed to be leak proof. They had it in her size. I'm like, alright. It's coming tomorrow, so yeah, they can stop giving me. Yeah, so whenever a kid doesn't cooperate and do what they want, they blame it on me because I'm home. But I'm like, kids are not going to do whatever you say. They have their own everything. And you shouldn't force them to do certain things like potty training. You can't force a kid to do that because then you can traumatize them and then they're not going to go ever again. Okay? So I didn't want that. So I was like, all right, I'll just do it on our own terms, kind of like suggest it. But I do say, do you have to go do this? And she's like, no. I'm like, sometimes she'll say yes and then she'll go do it. And it's kind of that kind of thing. And stuff. So yeah, that's how I do things. I'm not gonna force my kid to eat food and do all the things. Like if they don't like what I made, I go and make something else. Or give them something else. I'm like, so what will you eat? And then they're like, I'll eat this. I'm like, well then go get it then. That kind of thing. I already have to make 2 different meals, anyways, because Vincent has sensory issues and he won't eat the things I make most of the time. So I have to make him something separate anyways. So yeah, it's because Lillian doesn't like all the things I make either. She's weird. Kind of like Vincent. So yeah, when you have a 6-year-old that kind of acts like a special needs kid from times, yeah, that is also a red flag. So yeah, I have all these red flags and nobody's listening to me. They're just calling me a liar and I don't know nothing and you're just a terrible mom because you don't do nothing. I'm like, that's one thing you don't say to a stay-at-home mom. Do not say you don't do anything. I'm like, what do you mean by me not doing anything? Because I'm like, I clean the house, I take care of the kids, I buy the groceries, I cook the dinner, I pay the bills. Yeah, I make sure everyone has all the things they need in the house. Okay, and then I go another step further, and then I'm streaming on Twitch like you like. So, like you wanted. So, what is wrong with you?